Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 130. And my name is Anisha. I have been a teacher on Insight Timer for 3 years now, and I'm from India. So that's a little bit about me. And I would love to know more about you. So feel free to, type in which part of the world you're joining in from, or are you joining for the very first time? So, yeah. Hi, Rich. So happy to see you here again. Rich says, Hi, Anisha. Hope you are well, watching while working here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I am so honored that, you try to join in even when there is work. So, yeah, thank you. Blake says, Hello, Anisha. Hope all is well. Tuning in for the first time from Canada. Hello, Blake. I am happy to have you here. And I'm glad that this was going on your screen and you were like, okay, let's check this one out. And I do hope that you receive something of value from this live today. So thank you for joining us. And yes, I'm well. Okay. So let me give you guys an overview of what we do here before we begin with the actual live. So we start these lives with a meditation of around like 15 minutes. Okay. You're welcome, Blake. Yeah, and we meditate upon the quote that you might have seen when you opened Insight Timer today. So we meditate on that wisdom that is right in front of our eyes so that we can really soak it in and live it. Then after the meditation, once we are centered, once our vibrations has been raised, we move on to receive some higher wisdom from the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, angels, ancestors, whatever you call it. And we do that through a wheel. So we have a wheel of wisdom. On that wheel, there are names of, multiple transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of personal growth and healing. And we spin the wheel. The wheel randomly chooses a book for us. And then we play a game where I ask you guys to choose some numbers and then we do a reading based on the chosen number. Okay. So this is like a little bit of overview, but I will share more details when we get to each part. But for right now, I would love to know, like, are you guys ready for a meditation? Are you guys in a quiet place where you feel okay meditating? And if you are, you can type ready in the comments. And if you cannot type, you can simply press the heart somewhere here. Okay, Blake says definitely. Wonderful. Okay, so let me take a sip of water and then we will begin because I know Rich is busy. So, yeah, just a sip and then we will start. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either lie down or sit up, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this position, if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close, or alternatively, you can choose to lower your gaze, turning your attention away from the world outside of you and resting your awareness on your breath, feeling the air flowing in and out of your body. Notice the air moving through your entire body. Notice how your whole body comes alive with each breath. Amongst many other things, your breath is the basic reminder that you are alive, that you exist in this moment. And in this one, and in this one, you are here not by accident, but by the countless conditions that had to align across billions of years. The universe had to cool just enough for stars to form. Those stars had to live, burn, and die, scattering carbon, oxygen, and iron into space. The very elements that would one day become your blood, your bones, and your breath. The earth had to orbit at just the right distance from the sun, not too close, not too far away, so that the water could flow and life could emerge on earth. Life itself had to evolve through endless adaptations and also near extinctions. Every ancestor of you, whether it was a human, mammal, fish, or even a single celled organism, had to survive long enough to pass on life to the next generation, to continue this evolution. This precise sequence of your DNA, the timing of your parents' meeting, and all the other countless decisions and factors that led to this moment. Every single thing had to align perfectly for you to exist. Pause here and let this truth sink in. You are not random. You are the outcome of the universe integrate orchestration. The entire cosmos conspired for you to exist. Of all the galaxies, of all the species, of all the forms life could have taken, life chose you. Life chose to experience itself through you. Let yourself be touched by this truth. The whole universe wanted you, not anyone else, but you to exist, to live, to experience, to create, to be here right now. So I invite you now to let this truth sink deep into your subconscious mind by either simply listening to the affirmations that I'm going to say or by repeating them after me. The universe had never created anyone quite like me and never will again. The universe had never created anyone quite like you and will never create again. Your existence is the culmination of billions of years of evolution, and it matters deeply. Repeat after me. My existence is the culmination of billions of years of evolution, and it matters deeply. Your worth is inherent in your being. You are valuable simply because you exist. Repeat after me. My worth is inherent in my being. I am valuable simply because I exist. There has never been and never will be another you. Repeat after me. There has never been and never will be another me. This whole universe has chosen you. So you are enough just as you are. Repeat after me. The whole universe has already chosen me. I am enough just as I am. The same force that moves the stars and the planets flows through your heart. The same force that moves the stars and the planets flows through my heart. You are a part of life's vast web, and even the smallest actions from you ripple outward in meaningful ways. Repeat after me. I am part of life's vast web, and even the smallest actions from me ripples outwards in meaningful ways. You belong here your presence adds something that no one else can offer. Repeat after me. I belong here. My presence offers and adds something that no one else can offer. You can let go of the comparison. There is no one you need to be but yourself. Repeat after me. I can let go of comparison. There is no one I need to be but myself. The same universe that birthed you supports you in your becoming. You are held by its intelligence. Repeat after me. The same universe that birthed me supports my becoming. I am held by its intelligence. Your worth is inherent in your very being. You are enough simply because you exist. My worth is inherent in my very being. I am enough just because I exist. I honor this moment knowing that it will never come again. So, as you remember how rare and precious your life is, the next question naturally becomes, what will you do with it? What will you do with your one wild, precious life? Will you shrink or will you rise? Will you hide your light or will you let it shine? Will you choose wonder over worry, gratitude over guilt, and love over fear. Today's meditation was based on this very quote, this timeless quote by Mark Nepo. What will you do today, knowing that you are one of the rarest forms of life to ever walk the earth? So consider what might change if you remembered this truth today. Will you slow down and savor the simple pleasures of life? Will you speak more kindly to yourself and others? Remember, it's not about achievement, but it's about aliveness. So, how will you express, connect, create, and serve today? What will you do with this day, knowing how rare it is to be you, to be alive? What is one small way in which you can honor your existence as it is? So, as we reach the end of this meditation, I invite you to carry this reminder with you, not as a pressure to achieve, but as an invitation to live deeply and fully. Now, to end this meditation, I invite you to place one or both of your hands on your heart. Feeling your heart beat, a constant reminder of your aliveness, of this miracle of your existence. And as you hold in your awareness every single miracle, every single factor that has to be aligned for you to exist and live this precious life. I invite you to set an intention for the rest of your day. So, it can be something that is coming up for you, or you can simply repeat after me. Today, I choose to live as the rare, irreplaceable being that I am. Today, I choose to live as the rare, irreplaceable being that I am. And now allow your hands to be lowered, resting in your lap or on your knees. And to end this meditation, allow yourself to take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, letting go of this practice, knowing that be you will be continued that you will continue to receive the support by the entire universe. And now return back to your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers, and whenever you feel ready, gently opening your eyes. Coming back to the space. If you feel like sharing your experience, you are welcome to do that in the comments. I would love to know what resonated with you, or what did you felt during the meditation. And if you don't feel like doing that, then that's okay as well. Now, I see that a lot of new people have joined us while we were meditating. So I welcome you all. And in case you guys missed the meditation, because today's meditation was on the quote by Mark Nepo. And um, yeah, so if you joined late, I will share towards the end of this live where you can find this meditation. But for now, we are going to move to the next part of this live, which is to receive that message that we most need to hear right now. So, for that, I would like you guys to take a second and bring to your mind, what is it that you would like to receive some guidance on today? it can be something specific, or it can be an intention like, may I receive some guidance for my highest good. And once you have done that, once you have thought of something, let me know by typing in the comments ready, and then we will spin the wheel of wisdom. So let me show you guys the wheel. So this is our wheel of wisdom. And once you guys type ready, we will spin this wheel so that this wheel can choose a book for us based on whatever it is that the universe, God, divine, spirit, source wants to send our way, wants us to receive and to act on in our life right now. Okay, wonderful. Nancy says ready. What about others? Are you guys ready as well to receive the wisdom, to receive the guidance? Maybe one more ready and then we will begin. Okay, Wendy is, and welcome, Wendy and Nancy. Okay, so now, whatever it is that you guys have thought of, hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Hmm. So, the book that came for all of us today is Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? Let's see, why haven't we been told all of that, whatever is going to come through? And this book has been written by Dr. Julie Smith. So let's see what wants to come through this beautiful book. Give me a second to open it and choose some numbers because in a second we are going to play a game. Hello, April. Happy to have you here again, just in time for our first reading. Okay, so. hmm. Wendy is excited. That's okay. You guys don't need to rush choosing a number because let me give the instruction for this part, which is that I will ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And there's no need to rush because I want you guys to take some time and tune into your intuition and then share a number that you're feeling called to. And once you guys share all the numbers, I will go through your numbers and then choose a number, pick a number that I am feeling intuitively called to. So, in this way, we will get to tap into that collective wisdom so that every single one of us receives what we most need to hear. Okay. So, the numbers between which I invite you all to choose is 22 to 241. So, yeah, Wendy, if you feel called to, you can choose another number. Okay, thank you, Wendy. So, what I'm going to do next is when I pick a number, I will open that page number from that book. And as I was reading these books, I highlighted the insightful, paragraphs or the transformative exercises from these books. So, I'm going to read the highlighted text from that page. Okay. Okay, so we have some numbers. Thank you, Janik. Thank you, Corelia. Thank you, April. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Hmm. Okay, then let's see. Which number am I feeling called to amongst the numbers that you guys have shared? Okay. So the number that I am feeling most called to is 45, and the number has been chosen by April for all of us. Thank you, April. Okay, let's see what is on page number 45. So the heading for this is How to Turn Bad Days into Better Days. I guess every one of us can, use that, advice or whatever is going to come from this book, that how to turn bad days into better days. So the author says, when we feel low in mood, okay, let's see. First, the rationale of April. April says the rationale for that number. I just pulled an oracle card with that number, and the word was empowerment. Okay, I love that, double power. Ah, yeah, I think last time also you shared that. It is beautiful. Okay. So I hope that every single one of us listening to this will feel empowered after receiving that message from this book. Yeah. So the author says when we feel low in mood, it can start to feel difficult to make decisions that on better days we make in an instant. Shall I call in sick or shall I push through and see how it goes? Shall I call my friend or shall I wait until I feel more up to it? Shall I try to eat something healthy or shall I eat something more comforting? The problem with decision making when you feel low is that low mood gives us the urge to do things that we know will keep us stuck. But the things we know could help feels overwhelming. We start to focus on what is the best decision to make and berate ourselves for not doing it already. This is perfectionism rearing its head. Perfectionism paralyzes the decision making process because every decision has some inherent uncertainty, and every choice includes some negative side effects to be tolerated. So when it comes to tackling low mood, we have to focus on making good decisions, not perfect decisions. A good decision is one that moves you in the direction you want to go. It doesn't have to catapult you there, but something we must do is keep making decisions, however small. In any survival situation, making decisions and moving is essential. If you find yourself in deep water in the dark, with no way of telling which direction leads to safety, what you do know is that if you don't choose a direction and start moving, you won't be able to keep your head above the surface for long. Low mood wants you to do nothing. Therefore, doing anything positive, however small, is a healthy step in the direction you want to go. So, the author is reminding us that we do not have to do the most healthy thing, we do not have to make the most perfect decision, behave in the most, well behaved, perfect manner, but we just need to, you know, take small steps, do something positive no matter how small, to move us in that direction. And it can be if you feel like doing nothing, it can simply be, staying there, but just moving different parts of your body like this, so that this movement starts to come within your body. It can be, um, for example, if you feel hungry, but you don't feel like cooking the whole healthy meal, it can be, picking up something that is ready to eat and it doesn't require that much effort, and you're like, okay, I'm going to munch for that in on that for a while rather than going to something unhealthy. And even if you do, even if you went for the unhealthy ways of coping, then that's okay, because if you accepted that you did that and then you make the next right decision, you are changing the direction of where you were moving in that day. And you do not have to, circle back and berate yourself for the unhealthy thing that you just did. Because it is human that you don't feel like doing the healthy, the perfect, you know, the recommended things. So it is okay if you went for the unhealthy thing first. But then what is the next step that you're going to take? Can that be in some way a small, you know, adjustment, redirection towards what you really want, towards what you really want on that day, what you really need on that day, on, that day that feels yuck, that feels like, okay, I just want this day to be over. Can you take that small step towards that good enough direction? So let me know if this reading resonated with you, April, and anyone else, and if anything else is coming up for you as I was reading this. And there is one more subheading that I want to like reiterate, which is don't kick yourself when you are down, because that is only going to, add on more suffering to whatever is already existing. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for sharing that number. And yeah, we did the first reading, but I will consider your number for the next reading. Okay. And yeah, let's see what is going to be the next reading now. Okay, so April says, I love that. The key message from the card: as soon as you know which action to take, take it. Okay, then, the universe is definitely asking you that. Do not hold yourself back. Do not wait um, for the perfect sense of motivation, for things to feel all aligned, for you to feel ready, but take that action. And it doesn't have to be a big leap. It doesn't have to be doing the healthiest thing, doing the perfect thing, but just a small thing towards that direction. Because it is better than making no decision, taking no action at all, and staying stuck. Because you need to move somewhere to get out of those waters that the author mentioned. So I am so happy that, things perfectly aligned with the Oracle card and this, particular book reading for you, April. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So now, anyone new that joined, I invite you guys to, hold in your awareness whatever it is that you need guidance on. Okay. And as you hold that in your awareness, we will spin the wheel. Okay. So the book that came for all of us is Mindfulness for Beginners by Lara Hoshiasar. So let's see what is, if what wants to come through. As far as I remember, there were all these different exercises from these books. So give me a second to open the book. Now I'm choosing some numbers so that, you know, we can play a game. Okay. So, my dear ones, now I invite you guys to choose a number between 32 to 112. Again, no need to rush. Take your time. I will pick a number randomly. Okay. Thank you, Janik. And Lauren, I also invite you to choose another number if you're still here because it doesn't fall in between those numbers. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin is another wonderful teacher, you guys. So I recommend checking her out. Okay, anyone else who wants to share a number? I am glad that you did. I am happy to spend time with you guys, whatever time that you can give me. Okay, so since there is no more numbers coming up, let's go with the ones that you guys have shared and pick a number to see what wants to come through next for all of us. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling called to is 48, and the number has been chosen by Lauren for all of us. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 48. Okay, it feels like, a follow up for our previous reading because it gives us the question that we can ask to help us navigate through the bad days, through that low mode, and decide what is the best decision for us right now. So, the heading for this is asking better self inquiry questions. And um, and the author says when we ask ourselves better questions, we don't just make a to-do list, we make a to-be list. You know how we want to be. So, mm, so let's do this together right now. Okay. So I invite you guys to take a deep breath in and out, closing your eyes if it feels safe to do so. And now notice, how are you feeling right now? So try to, become aware of the emotion that is most present for you in this moment. And you can mentally label whatever it is you are noticing. It doesn't, and it doesn't mean that you are judging it as good or bad or right or wrong. Just notice what you are feeling in this moment. And once you have named that particular emotion, ask yourself this: how do I want to feel today? Or if it feels too much, then ask yourself, how do I want to feel right now? let that answer emerge on its own. What do you want to feel instead of whatever it is that you were feeling if it was unpleasant? And if it was pleasant, then asking yourself, what else do I want to feel right now? And then ask yourself, what are all the things that you would like to do that can help you feel that way? So, what is one small thing that you can do right now that would help you feel that way? You can think of all the things that you have done in the past when you were feeling that way. For example, if you want to feel more relaxed, then asking yourself, when was the last time I felt relaxed? And what was I doing at that time? So, in this way, think of all the possible things, activities, or ways in which you can create that feeling for yourself. And if you have chosen something big, then I invite you to break it down to an easy to do thing that you can do in a few minutes so that you won't feel overwhelmed, so that it is not another addition to your to do list. And now, as we reach the end of this practice, I invite you to set a time when you're going to do that. So commit to yourself that I will do dash whatever it is that you want to do at this particular time for these many minutes. And now thank yourself for taking out this time to ensure that you meet your needs. Thank yourself for showing up for yourself. And whenever you are ready, if your eyes were closed, gently opening your eyes. Welcome back. So now I invite you, as Lauren has already shared what she was feeling, which was a bit stressed and tangled. So, similarly, I invite you guys to share what you were feeling at the start. How do you want to feel? And what is one thing that you thought of doing to help you feel that way, to move you closer to that feeling? So, in this way, you can commit, you can share with others so you don't feel alone in that, feeling. So, yeah, share away. And if you want to share how this practice felt for you, you can do that as well. Okay. Caitlin says, "Oh my goodness, Spirit is like Caitlin. I don't think you heard me the other day. I got the message to ask the right question and seek in the right place. Whoa." Oh my goodness. Okay, that is my response to your comment, not just repeating it. But yeah, I am so happy that, you know, that somehow you stumbled here right now at this moment where we, use this time and space to ask ourselves the right question, ask ourselves the question that we needed. Okay, you're welcome, Lauren. I am glad that this practice was helpful in some manner. Caitlin says, delighted and lightly overwhelmed. Chores and life things adding to overwhelm, but Spirit has been speaking to me lots. And I have been hanging with the muses lately. The need to stay focused on life tasks. Okay. So, yeah, of course, there is a lot happening, and we all, like, all of us feel so busy, even at times when we don't have so much to do. And if we have a lot on our plate, then it feels even more overwhelming. And at that moment, it becomes even more important to pause and to give ourselves these little gifts, by asking that, what do I need right now? How do I want to feel? And doing, these little acts of self care. It doesn't have to be those big showy acts or big things like, going to the spa and everything. It can be these small things. Lauren says, very helpful, and I will come back. Ah, I am glad that, you know, this reading or the space touched you in some manner, Lauren. And I would look forward to see you in the next live. Let me share here in case you're planning to leave so that we get to connect again. And thank you so much for this kind gift. I receive your love with an open heart. And I wish that this energy that you're sending my way of abundance, of warmth, of love multiplies and touches your life in so many lovely ways. So thank you. Lauren says, I knew you were going to say 48, like I knew my name. Oh my goodness, I love that. That you felt it in your gut. And I love these, these moments and this kind of a trust in your inner knowing or whatever popped up. Because it just deepens our connection. And when we need it most, we can rely upon it because, it is like, okay, it really worked. Yeah, I have this connection with my inner wisdom because it is there for everyone, but the connection might not be. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that. And Laura is so shocked by the emoji, I think. Okay, and Caitlin said, also yes, I was drawn to the number 48 when I saw it. Okay, now I see why I chose it. And both are numbers added to 12, which is 3. Okay, your number was 12. Is that so? I forgot. But yeah, it is interesting. I have to check what happened there. Okay, yeah, 39. Okay, okay. Yeah, 12. Ah, wonderful alignment. Okay, beautiful. Hi, Abhijit. Welcome. And what is happening here with numbers is we are receiving the messages that we most need to hear. So basically, I open, I have a wheel, and that wheel chooses a book for us. I ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, and then I pick a number and do a reading from that page number, the highlighted text from that page. Okay, so that is like what is happening here. And we will do one more reading, so you will get to experience it here. Okay. Caitlin says, I think three is community and creativity. Yeah, I'm not sure about community, but yeah, it is definitely creativity. And it also invites us to, take care of ourselves as well. And stay connected has been coming in strong for me. Then, yeah, I guess the universe wants you to take care of yourself by spending more time with everyone, with the like-minded people, with those who make you feel welcomed and seen and heard and loved. Okay. Chris says, hello, Anisha, Caitlin, and everyone from South Carolina. Hi, Chris. Welcome back. You're just in time for our last reading for today. So, my lovely, amazing people, now for the new ones who just joined, I invite you guys to take a moment and bring to your mind whatever it is that, you need guidance on today. And hold that in your awareness as I spin the wheel. Okay? So I guess the theme continues because our first reading was on dealing with bad days and making the right decision on bad days. And then we had a reading on what to ask ourselves to make those right decisions, to nudge ourselves to have a better day, to turn our day around. And now the third book that came up for us is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And it's all small stuff. And this book has been written by Richard Carlson. So let's see what wants to come through. Lauren says, can you put the second book title in the chat? Yeah, it was Mindfulness for Beginners. And I will write it down. So Lauren, I actually, put a summary in my group, which is Wonderful Beings, which is on Insight Timer. So I post a summary including the name of the books as well as the reading so you can check them out. And with the second practice, I put a twist so it went impromptu. So I just guided you through whatever came up for me and used the practice as a base. So yeah, it is not the exact practice that we did. So the book do not have that exact practice, just to let you know. But yeah, you can check that out there. Okay. Um, and you can go through this exact practice. I will share, how you can re-access this live. Okay. Later on towards the end. So let's see, there are some comments. So first, let me go through them, and then I will open the book and see what wants to come through. So Abhijit says, "Nice. I want to say a number to know what this universe wants to tell me." Okay, yeah, that's what we are doing here, and I'm excited to see what wants to come through for all of us, including you. Peter says, "Absolutely." And Peter says, "Don't take breathing in and out for granted. It is a gift." I love that, Peter. I don't know if you were present since the start or not, but we did a meditation on that very thing, the preciousness of life itself. And we started with the breath, that how it is a gift and how your existence is a gift. So yeah, if you aren't, I would invite you to check that meditation out because it might resonate with you. And I will share towards the end where you can find it. Okay. So, yeah, let me open the book and see what wants to come through. Hmm. So, I'm just choosing some numbers for us to play the game. Let's see. Yeah. So, my lovely dear people, now I invite you guys to choose a number between 16 to 144. Again, no need to rush. I will pick a number randomly. So, take your time and see which number is coming up for you. Hmm. Thank you, Abhijit. Okay, two numbers. Okay. Hmm. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jen. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay. Then let's go with these numbers and see which wants to come through. Thank you, Sabin or Sabine. Um, okay, the number is one, but 991, which is one. Okay. Ah, okay. So yeah, we will go with 91 for you, Sabine. Lauren say, I gotta go, but thank you. You have a blessed day. Thank you for your blessing, Lauren. And it was lovely having you. And I hope to see you again. Okay, thank you, Chris. So now let's go through all these numbers and choose one. Hmm. Okay. So the number that I am feeling most called to is 112, and the number has been chosen by Janet for all of us. Thank you, dear. So let's see what wants to come through page number 112. Hmm. So, yeah, a beautiful intention, which is the author says, make service an integral part of your life. To become a kinder, more loving individual requires action. Yet, ironically, there is nothing specific you have to do, no prescription you have to follow. Okay, Caitlin, what happened? Hmm. I am so happy that they are really, really clicking for you, Caitlin. Okay. So yeah, let's solve and let's see what the author wants to say in deciding how to solve. And you are giving me, a big smile as well. So thank you. And it also actually resonates with the meditation. Like towards the end, we asked a question that since all of these things had to align for us to exist, then what do I want to do with this life? And how do I want to express and serve and create, why, how can I, your beingness is enough and that is it. But how do you want to express yourself? And, just do, if you want to, if you feel called to, then what else do you want to be? How else do you want to experience life? And one way is serving. Abhijit says it bounced over me, not feeling connected with this one. That's okay. Let's see. Let's see towards, let us go through this whole reading and see if it resonates. And if not, then that's okay. Um, yeah. So yet ironically, there is nothing specific you have to do, no prescription to follow. Rather, Most genuine acts of kindness and generosity seems natural. They stem from a type of thinking where service and giving have been integrated into the person's thought process. So just holding that intention can be the very, start, can be the very seed that blooms into something beautiful and impacts I don't know how many people. So, several teachers and philosophers that I have learned from have suggested that I begin my day by asking myself a question. So, another question come up for us. In the previous reading, the question was, how do I want to feel today? What do I need most in this moment? And now the question is that the author invites us to begin our day with, how can I be of service? And even if you don't do anything about it, if you do not have any concrete action, but that intention in itself can change the way you think, can change your mindset, from more of taking, from more of wanting to more of giving and ultimately attracting it. So, I have found this to be useful in reminding me of the multitude of ways that I can be helpful to others. When I take the time to ask this question, I find answers popping up all day long because, in a way, you have primed your mind with that question. So now, when you ask your mind this question, how can I be of service today? The mind, and you left it there, you just, pour that question and let it go. Your mind will keep on bringing up things that, yeah, this is how you can help others, this is how you can serve, this is how you can, find meaning or purpose of your existence. So, if one of your goals is to be of help to others, you will find the most appropriate ways. Your chances to be of service are endless. Sometimes the best way I can be of service is to offer my home to a friend. Other times it is to give my seat to an elderly person on the train, help a youngster across the monkey bars, speak to a group, write a book, help out in my daughter's school, write a check to a charity, or pick up litter on the road. The key, I believe, is to remember that being of service isn't a one time effort. It's not doing something nice for someone and then wondering why others aren't being nice too or doing things for us. Instead, a life of service is a lifelong process, a way of thinking about life. Does that trash needs to be taken out? If so, go ahead and take it out, even if it's not your turn. Is someone you know being difficult? Maybe they need a hug or someone to listen to. Are you aware of a charity that is in trouble? Could you possibly give a little extra this month? I have learned that the best way to be of service is often very simple. It's those quiet, little, often unnoticed act of kindness that I can choose on a daily basis. So, if towards the end of the meditation that we did at the start of this live, you're wondering what I want to do with this wild, precious life of mine, I love this line from a poem, then maybe this is your answer, that this is your purpose. It doesn't have to be a career in itself, it doesn't have to be something big. It can be small ways in which you impact others through your presence. And when you have that kind of mindset, initially I really struggled with this mindset because it was more like give and take, like this equal. If I'm giving this much, I need to receive this much. And it was really hard to let go of this mindset. But when I did it, and I actually did it at the start of this year, when I was like, when I decided to give, more free sessions to women who need them, I noticed that it was truly fulfilling for me. And it wasn't that I was giving something to someone, it was more like it was also, giving something to me. There was this a beautiful sense of fulfillment, a beautiful sense of like I am happy to be there for them, that I am honored in a way. And to witness all of these changes, it was just so beautiful. And it attracted a lot more than I have given. So and again, you do not need to go with this approach and this mindset that if I give more, I will have more. Again, then you're going with, your mind is using a trick to go to the old pattern. But you need to, if you want to, then you need to start. You can start with a simple question and starts with these small acts. And then when this becomes an integral part of your mindset, then it would come naturally to you and you will see the ripples of it, So I have been using this metaphor a lot of, how this one small act, one small pebble can create these ripples that impacts, like, the impact goes so wide that you can't even realize that you have never thought. So yeah, I really wish that you carry this question with yourself. And now I see some comments by Caitlin and other people also. If you guys feel called to share, if it resonated, if it didn't, or if something else came up for you as I was reading this. And yeah, and I'm interested in knowing that whether it resonated with you or not, Janet, because it was your number. Caitlin says, this can even apply to your future self. I like to get chores and things done for future Caitlin. Yes, you can be of service not just for others, but for yourself, Just like compassion, it is not just limited to others, but for yourself, that is when the circle is completed. So, how can I be of service to myself today? And one way can be going to the second reading that we did, is asking ourselves, again and again, whenever we remember that, how do I want to feel right now? And then making that change to move towards it, to change the direction in which your day was moving. And Gillian says, sometimes I feel big resistance to being only service or having that be a focus or a need from the universe. But it does feel good when you are in that mindset, being able to pour energy and goodness into the collective for everyone. Exactly. So when we are doing this, we need to also remember our boundaries, that how much when I give this, I feel fulfilled and it feels nice and it feels like, you know, it feels that, yeah, I can do this. And when I go beyond that limit, it becomes difficult for me because at that moment, you need to remember that how can I be of service to myself, and stopping at that point, that feels like right now, at least at this moment, I cannot go beyond that. Maybe that limit would stretch with time as you continue with this mindset. But for right now, I am honoring myself as well as I want to honor others and, give to others. I'm giving to myself the permission to only offer what I can right now. So that is what came up for me, Caitlin, as I read that comment. And Caitlin says, on a different day, I may not have connected with this reading like this. I may have been like, ick, service again, really? Lol. But today it hit the heart in a good way. I am so happy to hear that. And I believe that, there is so much information around us. And that is what I say with these lives, that There is so much around us. We are bombarded with information. We can have it on one click. And it is truly magical to receive that right piece of guidance or wisdom, that piece of reminder, because we already know, we already have whatever it is that we need. But to have that reminder reflected back to us at that moment when we need it most. And it's like, when we listen to the same things again and again, and it doesn't really create anything within us. But but then there is one time when it comes to us and we are like, wow, why did I never saw that before? So I am so happy that you had that feeling today, Caitlin. Okay, Abhijit says, my life is sustaining on the birth and deaths of many microorganisms, insects harmed in farming and planets and plants. And my life is sustaining on the birth and death. You mean that, that is something that you really care about. That is something where you would like to make an impact, to ensure that maybe you can make a difference in not just the whole system, but maybe a particular plant, a particular insect that would be grateful to have you, even though they do not have this thinking and all of that, but still, they would, the divine within them would be grateful to be accompanied by the divine within you. So, yeah. Okay, guys, now I guess it's time to wrap this live because we have been here for like it is going to be soon 1 hour 30 minutes. And Abhijit says so act of service is coming from a life and body which itself breeds on systems which create cycle for many beings. When I read that comment, I just had this feeling of expansiveness. I And that another comment reminds me of, that thought that we sometimes have, that how our existence don't matter, how it's just a whole, it reminds me of this mechanistic view that it is just happening, everything is happening, there's a system and everything is happening on its own. And when that comes to my mind, I usually think of how even if we remove a part of this whole machinery that is happening on its own, that is somehow functioning, then the machinery is going to get impacted. So I don't know if I, touched upon what you are mentioning or not, but that is what came up for me. Okay. So, um, okay, so that's it for this particular live. And yeah, about re-accessing this live, in case you guys joined late, in case you guys want to return to the meditation that we did, which was on today's Insight Timer quote, or if you want to go through the readings again, then you guys can, access this live. Okay, let me show you here. Yeah. So you guys can go to my profile, go to the about section there, scroll all the way down, and here you will find a way to access today's live, as well as if you are going through something and you would like to talk to me about it, and yeah, and would like some personalized guidance or support, then you're welcome to check this out. And here you will find a way to do so. And I would love to support you in terms of whatever it is that you're going through. I would love to offer you that space where you can feel heard, where you can feel seen, and where you can find clarity on how to move forward in your life regarding whatever is happening for you. So, yeah, you are welcome to, check that out. And if you do not want to watch the whole thing, then you can also access the summary. And you can do so by going to again to my profile, and here in the home section, when you scroll all the way down at the bottom, you will see a group here where you will find a summary of this particular live within like 5 or 10 minutes of this live ending. And in that summary, I mentioned the type of meditation that we did, the name of the books through which we read, and the readings that we did. So if you want to re-access them, you can check that in that manner as well. Um, and apart from this, I would like to share two places where you can find all of my resources. And I'm not going to go in deeper. I will just share the places where you can find them. So again, just above the group, here you will see a playlist section where you can find all of my tracks arranged into these four playlists. So it is easier for you guys to navigate. And if you would like to continue this play or this format of like choosing um something based on your intuition, then you can access that in this playlist. I have created a game out of this playlist. So yeah, I hope that you will have fun doing that. And the other place where you can find all of my resources is the courses section. And here you will find all of my 7 courses related to, how to live more mindfully, how to find peace in your daily life, how to accept a difficult situation, when things are not going your way. And if you are going through like negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, then you will find I have few courses related to that that will help you with the strategies to move beyond them. Okay. So, yeah, if you feel interested in any of these things, you can check them out. And if you want to explore more of my offerings, then you can always like go to the about section, scroll to the bottom, and here you can read a lot more like about my journey, access all the other, gifts that I offer, or um this particular live as well. Okay. LJ says, thank you, Anisha. We appreciate all you do with love and gratitude. Peace be unto all. Thank you, LJ. I am glad that you enjoyed the space and the readings. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next live as well. Okay, Abhijit says doership is illusion. Okay, so that we are doing anything, that we are making a difference by our actions. So again, as I mentioned, being is enough. You being as you are is enough. Your presence in itself is enough. Just like, when someone is feeling low and you just sit beside them without speaking anything, without doing anything for them, it's just enough for them to feel your loving presence, to feel your care. And then you can also, and doing is also not a bad thing. It's more of like, since you are here, since you are existing, you are going to do something. So, holding a positive intention behind that, that I want my actions to be of service to others, to be of, you know, to be kind to myself and all of that. And from that place, expressing your loving presence in that manner. So, yeah, that is what came up for me. Caitlin says, this was a beautiful session. I want to express my thanks and send metta to all. Thank you, Caitlin, for being here and for your lovely blessings. And thank you everyone for your presence, for all the lovely hearts and interaction, amazing interaction that we had today. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. Bye bye. I will see you day after tomorrow.